low self-worth, no self-worth, like low confidence, no confidence, and will end up attracting a certain type of partner. This is the way life has to be lived. This is the only way for life to be lived. There's no other way. I'm working on a portrait. So basically, whenever it comes to like respect for a child, right? There's a lot of people that believe that because a child is a child, that they do not deserve respect. And I feel that a lot of people that have children view their children as like products, or not products, but as objects, or like as if they own them. And that's part of the reason that they have that belief that they don't deserve respect. But there's a certain belief that people have where if you have parents, these are the only parents that you have, and so you should honor them, you should respect them. I agree with that, that's true, right? But I don't believe that just because you are the parents and you guys are adults, that means that the child doesn't deserve respect. Like, people speak to children in a very like disrespectful way, and people speak to children as if like how you would talk to like a dog, and basically just anything you think of that's just not respectful for an individual. And you know, the whole thing about like stay in a child's place, or if adults are having a conversation, that a child doesn't need to intervene, and like people give like this very hostile energy towards a child if they do interrupt an adult conversation. There's like different ways, of course, different parenting styles to like handle it, but I know that a lot of like the main thing that people do is disrespect and like degrade a child just because. And I also feel like part of the reason people do that is because in their everyday life they don't receive respect from like the outside world, them as an adult, so they reinforce that belief, well, I'm an adult and you're a child, so you need to respect me, you have to respect me, and because I'm an adult I don't have to respect you because you're just a child, as if they're like lower or less than. And that's part of the reason people grow up and they start to allow people to disrespect them, like authority figures, people at their jobs. They let people run all over them, even not even just like the work environment, at school, like teachers. Like there's this perception that certain types of people are above them and they are below, even if like there's like an age gap, or even if there's not an age gap. Like certain people in certain types of positions, these people that have been disrespected like as children literally do carry that belief on through adulthood, to where now even in their relationships they have like certain types of disrespect that happens, and they think because this is the man of the house or something that you should allow disrespect to happen because you are the woman. And like they are, you know, there's a lot of like conditioning and certain like certain types of practices that I just do not believe is the correct way, because at the end of the day it's like we're all human beings and we all deserve respect because we are literal living creatures, you know. But the children thing, like with babies, you know, being new here and like brain development, all of this conditioning and like all like these repeated like situations and like these repeated like what do I want to call it, like just cycles of, I thought I was seeing a worm, sorry, that looked a little nasty. What was I saying? People pass down, and I don't even want to say outdated practices, they just pass down these toxic practices where, okay, I'm an adult, you're a child, I get to disrespect you, I get to talk to you any type of way, you don't deserve respect because you are a child and I am the one that brought you into this world. Or not even if they're not the ones that brought them into this world, just the fact that they are a child and this is the adult, you don't deserve respect. And it literally does cause like children to believe that they do not deserve respect, not even just because they are a child, they're registering as like me, you know what I'm saying, like as an individual, a person. Like, because think about what I just said in the earlier part, like they carry that throughout their life. So now they're an adult, you would think, okay, I'm an adult now, I deserve respect. And some people actually do develop that mindset, well, now I'm an adult, and so now when I have children, I'm gonna let them know I'm an adult. And part of the reason why they do that is because like they spent their entire childhood being like talked to in a certain type of way and being disrespected, and also like always being told because they are a child. So now they're putting that on to their child, whenever they have children, where, okay, I'm an adult, you're a child, and this is how it goes, you know what I'm saying? And they're like continuing this like cycle. And, you know, again, a part of another reason why, so like either they grew up like that, but also there's people that don't get respect like in the outer world, like with other adults. So I feel like that's why they force it so much onto their kids. Well, like, I'm not getting respect out here, you're definitely gonna respect me because you're my child, like a possession thing, like an object. I hope what I'm saying makes sense, because I am all over the place. I hope like the connections are being made between all this, because it really does all relate to each other. And it was just something that was on my heart. Like, I recently just went somewhere and like I met a lot of different children and nothing bad happened. Like, it was like really just, it's very heartwarming, like just seeing the light in all of their faces and stuff, like with everything that was going on. It was very, very cool. And I don't know, I was just thinking about that, like how there's people that, and this is not to like demonize the people that do practice these things, because truthfully, when you think about it, it's like either these people also went through the same thing, or it's just a lack of education. And it's not an excuse for these like pity or anything like that, because nobody's a victim. I'm not doing that. It's more so having that understanding, like you can just educate people. I'm definitely not going to demonize anybody, because a lot of times this is just lack of education, or like people not reaching that level of consciousness yet, or really not even being brought to that position, especially if they're in an environment where this is a normal thing, and so everybody does the same thing, and this is something that's passed down through generations and passed down to their children, and nobody ever calls it out or nobody ever mentions it. So of course they're not going to think anything's wrong about that, you know. And then if they do see something outside of it, it's like they spend their entire life being affirmed that this is a good thing, this is the right thing, like this is what we do, this is like how you get children to respect you, you know what I'm saying? And there's more important things than that. Respect is an important thing, but it's like to damage like your child's like confidence and their self-worth, their self-esteem, like how they think about themselves, that's not the way to like do it at all, you know. Like, again, I do understand that people have different practices, and I know that there's people that's like, well, do you have any children? I have 3 nieces. My younger sister has children, and even whenever I was younger, I kind of always wondered about this, because I am one of those people that used to be disrespected and like talked to, and not even just like by my parents or anything, like extended family or like other authority figures, like from like school or something, or like just other places. And even as an adult, like just experiencing like where people will speak to you in this type of way, and like it's so confusing, because it's like, you know, I'm either doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and this person's still being very like hostile towards me, or I didn't know about something and this person could have just educated me about this, but instead. And it's like, that's where it comes in, where like a lot of people are hurting on the inside, and a lot of people have pain on the inside, and they carry that around, and it shows up in situations like that. It shows up in, yeah, situations like that. And there's definitely like a way to change that. Is that a spider? Please. There's definitely a way to change that. Like, there's definitely a way to change that, like your mindset. And then I know that other things play in it too, like where if you're a person that hasn't done your inner work and you have like a short temper, you can't even deal with your own emotions, so to have to deal with like other people's emotion, like children are children, but they're also people, like they're human beings, you know. So to have to deal with another human being's emotion, it's like a stressful thing, especially like if you're living in a certain type of way where like the situation you're in is very stressful, you have all of these external things happening, and then on top of it, like the children thing too. This is again not an excuse, but also just me validating, like I can understand the stress that a person could be going through in those situations, but at the end of the day, it's about working on yourself. And that's why I feel like before, you know, people have children, you should already know who you are. You should already be whole on the inside. You should already love yourself. You should already have worked on all of your past traumas, and you will never, like, I know that like there's certain things that happen that like you will never, I guess, fully heal or be like back to normal from. And sometimes whenever you get into a relationship, those types of wounds are the wounds that do get healed from that. But I'm just talking about the stuff that, like what I'm talking about, where you're like, you speak to a child in a disrespectful way. And this is not just about like young parents, or, well, actually, yeah, because like young parents, it's like, you know what I'm saying, they're still developing mentally, and again, they might not know themselves, and they don't even know about trauma or what trauma is or any of that. All of this is like seen as like a normal thing, so it's something that is repeatedly passed down and affirmed through each other, like this is a normalized thing. And it's like the only thing that it's doing is like having this toxic cycle of like where somebody will grow up with low self-esteem, low self-worth, no self-worth, like low confidence, no confidence, and will end up attracting a certain type of partner, and the situation will be dysfunctional, and then they will have children and then pass down those same exact, not necessarily, I guess, outdated practices, or those practices that should not even be practices, and then the whole cycle just keeps repeating itself, and people are just unhappy, and people are miserable, and people think that this is the way life has to be lived. This is the only way for life to be lived. There's no other way. But there really is a whole other side to life. And like, just being a person that has like been through a lot of different things, you know what I'm saying? And then like completely 180, because I used to wonder when I was like younger, I used to see certain types of people that just seemed to always be so happy. And I used to wonder, at first I thought it was like if people came from like a healthy two-parent household, which I do think that does play a part in it. I do think that plays a part in it, but I also was like thinking that I'm not even to get into that on this video, but that's all I wanted to say, because like it was on my mind, it was on my heart, definitely. Like I just felt it, like meeting as many children as I met the other day, and just like seeing all their different personalities, like just, and one of them like actually reminded me of one of my siblings, like my brother. Yeah, he was really adorable. It was just like he physically looked like my brother, but he also just like the way he was acting, and it just reminded me of a lot of things in the past. And I was like, you know, I feel like I want to put this video out there just about like, you know, even if not that many people see it, it's like just putting it out, period. Because whoever sees it, maybe they either have children themselves because they're young parents, or maybe even regular, like, you know, normal age people, or even if they have like younger siblings, you know, the younger siblings, or if they know people, like just putting the message out there as far as like there is a way to like change all this. There's another way of life where you can still maintain that structure in the household. You can still have a child not to be disrespectful towards you, in the sense like where they just go on a rampage and do whatever they want, and it's like really toxic. There's a way to understand and like allow for a different way of living, where a child is respected as an individual, a child is respected as a person, and like their thoughts and their mind matters, and that they do have self-worth, but at the same time they are still being respectful to like the rules in the house, or being respectful just in a lot of different things. Because I feel like there's a lot of things that people classify as disrespectful, and a lot of times it's really not disrespectful, but people that have that possession type of mindset, like they have that mindset that they own the child, or like this is their possession, this is their object because they've had them, they're going to maybe see some of these things as like disrespectful. And I guess in the next video I could go like more in depth about exactly like each detail, but I hope people know what I'm talking about with this. But that's about it, and thank you for watching till the end of the video. Yeah, I appreciate it.